Hello everybody, my name is Troublemaker and I'm playing Civilization Beyond Earth. And so I'm playing as the Slavic Federation. I built one expansion city here. We're on turn 79 by the way, look how late this city is. And I have a very large number of missions to do. I've been focusing on getting these expeditions done, and I have 2 levels of purity already. I, however, will be going harmony. So it's a little bit weird for what, we're seeing. So we will just continue on our way. There is a very, very high volume of aliens sitting on my border. But since I'm going the harmony route, I don't believe I will try and tackle with them just yet. Yeah. And yes, I'm using a lot of Explorer too. One over here, one here, and then one here. 3 Explorer approach. And what I'm trying to do is get all the expeditions, but also do a lot of scouting before bases get laid down, so that I can get a lot of trade routes later on. You need vision of the path of the trade to get the trade route. And that is, like I said, something for later on. Right now there's just way too many aliens around to actually even consider trading just yet. Like I said, probably going to have to do something with that sooner rather than later. And as soon as I can get my soldier out there, I might try and clear a few of these guys out, just because there are so freaking many of them. Now this guy has no modules, but he also has very little health, so I have to be very, very careful with him. Try and take him during a path of least miasma. It's kind of like the path of least resistance, except with miasma. Now these aliens will not attack my explorers because I have at least 1 point in purity, which gives me my explorers immunity from being tackled by aliens, and it gives me free reign to do a lot of exploring. So here comes one of my very first few alien kills. And just trying to prune these guys out, just so there's not so many on base. And they're all range units, which is very, very scary. And I don't want them there. It's not a racism thing, as you might expect from somebody like me, but rather, I really can't have the risk of them being there for too long. Now, eventually, as I go through the harmony tree, I will not take damage from miasma. I will actually gain health from miasma, which is great. Did I switch this back over into food, or is it still on production? I forget. And it's back over to food. Excellent. So I'm sitting in a pile of miasma right now, which is not good. I'm eventually going to move that guy back. For now, let's put him here, and pull him back into the city. And I'm not going to kill anything with my soldiers, but not with my city, because I want all this experience for my soldiers. Yeah, I can take that deal. It's just a lot of free money, and as you can see, like, my bonus here is almost entirely based on diplomatic relations right now. Okay, so heal this guy up. Ooh. So this is my worry. My worry is that this settler will get squashed. So for now, I'm going to heal him up. I'll have later plans for you, so. Now. I don't think I'm going to find any more pods, but if I do, that's a huge win. Pods actually scale up with the turn, and you get pod growth almost entirely based on how many turns that you have spent with it. So that's a huge boost if you can get a late game pod. I believe I will be getting a trade. No, I'm getting a recycler. That's what I want. Recycler for more productive values, so that I can be more productive in society. Okay, this guy's got enough health. We're gonna go grab this one over here. And this Sure, we'll clear out this guy here. Eventually, apparently, not right away. Alright. Turn is a go. Now, what do I have here? Request. The cultural burden one hasn't really activated yet. We have the expedition for solid state citizen. A Xeno sanctuary in Krabvorst. Krabvorst, of course, is my capital. The Slavic capital. Okay, I can bring this guy back to do my bidding. Which is to build a farm. And eventually these farms will be converted into higher tier buildings and whatnot, so I think I'm going to get a satellite from this. Look at this wreck. The type of wreck you physically see is very indicative of what you're getting. This could either be a satellite or a progenitor rune. And progenitor runes are very random with what they get. They have a very low chance of giving you a victory condition, and I mean really low chance. As in, you know, don't wait up on these things. And I have destroyed a city over here just so I can get another ruin for me to harvest. And actually, I can probably do that next turn. I just wanted to give this guy enough health so that he could walk through miasma and be fine. As this guy's 5 turns for that one. That's actually not bad at all. I'll take 5 turns happily. Ah, pod, a late game pod. Excellent. That's going to be a huge boost. I've seen some like turn 200 pods, and they give you around 130 to 140 science. Like, it's insane. Now, at this level, it would be insane, but at that level, it's just on par. So, yeah, there's that. Oh, Shazam, 70 energy. I will happily take your 70 energy. And it looks like I'm going to be successful in capturing the Gene Vault. Gene Vault will give me a huge boost to my population growth, which will allow me to keep on par, not ahead, but on par with our computer players. Some of them I will be ahead of. Like right now you see Mandira is 9, Citadella is 10, and I'm only sitting at 7. So, yeah. Ooh, a ruin. Another ruin. How awesome is that? Well, I can send another explorer in not so many turns, because this one's only take, what, 2 more turns? Yeah, so I can send something over here pretty soon. Now this guy is no modules, so I can't actually use him for it. I'm just using him to kind of like walk around and scout and spot and figure the map out. So we're going to get rid of this alien nest for the free monies. And we'll just make our way away from here. And once you clean up the nest, like the actual number of units that occupy that territory is scant. I just had these Marines here actually covering up this area so that no other nation could steal my ruins, which I earned by destroying it. There is another place, Golden Bell Temple, that I could hypothetically destroy, but it's a little bit close to Central and Axiom, and I'm afraid that they've already proclaimed that as theirs, so I don't want to mess with that. Alright, so the Gene Vault is mine. It's a huge, huge whim. And, oh yeah, that's right, that's the random spot where for some reason cultural burden is there. So now you can see I kind of need health. I'm at 0 health right now, so... Oh, I don't actually have any way of getting health. Let's build another worker for now. Having 2 workers is always good. Development tiles, and 80 production is going to give me pretty much an instant worker. That's crazy. Kavatha. No, not right now. Kavatha is right here. This is my thought. Kavatha is within walking distance. He's on this flank here. So hypothetically we could hit a 2-flank war here. But my thought was this. Citadella is a 10 city, Mandira is a 9 city. Why would I ally with the guy who has the stronger city to try and destroy a person with a weaker city? So we're going to go with the Harmony route. Let them settle on their own. And this is going to give me an offshoot mission to... Oh, wait 1 turn. But the offshoot mission will be to give them a colony of their own. So we're going to build a second colony I'm going to bump up my production to get that colony going. Just because, yes, that will be a thing in the future. I'm not doing too much scouting with this single soldier. I will want him closer to home. Just for the sake that if aliens re-emerge, which looks like they're all dying off, I want him available to defend my workers. Aliens don't seem to bother with improvements, which is good. Not great, but good. And they're not quite barbarians, because the barbarians will come and go like, oh, I just smashed your field, It's like, but I would have fed you. And it's like, but I smashed it, And they'll capture your capital and stuff. The aliens, for whatever reason, don't seem to bother at all with that. Okay, what do we have? Harmony, culture. So I can gain some harmony points and culture points. They sent word requesting a trade. Apparently they managed to build a shelter from wreckage. So, I think the side of this is actually for me to destroy something. Is that correct? Not build a... Oh! I don't need this colony. But I should get it regardless. I'm at 2 cities. Ark is at 3. He's got, I think, 3. I think there's one sneaky Rick one around here somewhere. Greenland's at 2 or 3. I should probably get another colonist just so I can kind of keep on par. I will have, a number of turns for that. So I have to destroy steppe mining, which is their colony apparently. And destroying steppe mining will also give me another opportunity to do an expedition. Gives me a quest reward, which can be basically free harmony points, as well as other things. So, I've done this before, we'll do this again. Let's get our soldiers march towards steppe mining. This is also an opportunity to gain a lot of veterancy points, which are invaluable. And this early land grab is not a common strategy. This 3 settler opening probably will not work out initially. I need to build some health building resources over here, and perhaps even try and get my science towards bio, whatever it's called, that does it. Let's see, so if I put one more point into industry, I get a free virtue. Now, I can choose the health-based one, or the science pound. They're both actually quite good. I might end up getting both of these, actually. But I do need the health one for now, just because of growth. And it only gave me 1 health right now, but in the future that will hopefully represent a pretty sizable investment. Alright, our armies march on steppe mining. And we got giant chunk of culture from a derelict ship. Someday it'll be a progenitor rune. Let's see, your computers make no offers. See, for him this war makes so much sense, because he, there's like a colony built right on top of his capital pretty much, so it makes a ton of sense for him to go to war with that person, but for me it just doesn't make that much sense. Okay, so we will slide across all the way over to here. 17 turns to hit that rune. Energy or production. I think production will be my big go-to guy right now, because it'll allow me to produce things much faster, which will help me in the long run. So we will destroy steppe mining, the colony of the augmented. And huge chunks taken out initially. And this will be my first harmony point. This will get me on my way to harmony. And it's got a really weird first perk. Alien aggression returns to normal faster. If you go for the harmony-based victory, which I'm not sure I'm doing yet, which is the mind flower, which is transcendence, you actually get a really bizarre effect where all the aliens actually turn on you. and they're always kind of flipping in and off because you actually have this one point in there that does this. It's insanely bizarre, actually. And yeah, Reynoldo has in fact declared war on Cavatha. So this war has happened regardless of my joining. And I think my next goal will be build some trade depots. Workers speed. A lot of these are going to get converted over into terrascapes later on, so it's not too big of a deal. I just need the farms here to bolster production of what will end up being a lot of resources. But for now, yeah, farms are not particularly high on resource value. It's like you're getting a +1 food per tile, which is great for development, not lying, but terrascapes will have to eventually place a lot of these tiles. Depending on how ahead I am on my workers, that is. I mean, if I'm still falling behind, there's not going to be too much of a point in me staying strong with that approach at all. So, we will settle. Ooh, that's a nasty place to settle. These are all very not nice places they're recommending. So up here is all tundra. We have fire axite and algae over there, though. Both are quite good. I might build on a gravestone. I'm highly considering it. I could build right here. And then I gain access to coral, fruit, and fiber. None of those are really strategic resources. But I have a chance of linking fire axite through a quick route, so I think that makes a lot of sense to me. Trade will begin. Yeah, building on the grave, of course, refers to the fact that this is going to die, and
no village was.
We're literally going to build on the grave of step mining. We're going to be, well, beside it actually. We'll build right here, because I still want that ruin for something else. What do we have here? What did we just discover? We have liqueur and Fidem. Which I don't think I'll be able to have land route access to. I still need to have a scout down in the south here. Which I have not been doing. I gotta keep these explorers active though, and perhaps once he has probed through the record of step mining, I might send him to the south. That's a costly attack now. Step mining should not take too long to destroy. These are 1 upgraded infantry units. Cavatha on my side.
No village was ever ruined by trade.
So what I'm going to do with my trade routes is I'm going to be a bit conniving. I'm going to feed my trade routes into Seira and Mandira to fight off the Brazilians. And by doing that, I'll have weakened the Brazilians and invigorated the Capson Protectorate. That way, when the future comes, these will both be weak nations. Because they will both be weak nations for both choosing war. And yeah, that's my master plan. I always have a master plan in my head. So, I have lots of trade opportunities. I'm going to go with Seira. And I will get a trade convoy. I forget, did I make an auto plant yet? Let's see. No, there's no auto plants yet. So I will only get 2 trade routes. But this will be worth a high amount of research and money, most importantly. Research and money is what we'll be trading for. The Ectogenesis pod. It's kind of neat watching this war actually rage on. Like they're not calling for broke. I mean, it actually looks like Cavatha has a much larger sized army here than the Brazilians, but maybe that's just because they're on the defense right now. There's a whole shad right here that I just do not see. God, that needle. Why does it have to have such a long battle animation? Weird with that needle strike, unable to actually kill this ranger. And Rangers are like tier 1s. They're the lowest of the low. Okay. So this is alive a little bit longer than I was expecting it to be honest. Let's see how much more this thing can last. I think, depending on how it heals this turn, it should only heal by 10 points. Oh, peace has been made. We'll call this the Middle East, because it kind of looks like on the map the Middle East. It's kind of middle between my territories and everyone else's territories, and we're in a European style of thinking. It's us and it's them. Costly attack. Let's see if we can end this. Yep, got it. Got it! And there's my point in harmony. So now I can build my city here on a grave. And soon I will also have some fresh loot to take the snake. To swipe snake. Oh, a satellite has been launched. Random. It's weird that you can actually, they let you see the satellite through the fog of war. That's a little bit bizarre. But they do. They do. It's weird. But now it tells me there's a satellite. I mean, I see it here anyway. I just don't know which kind it is. But the satellite map will tell me if they do in fact have satellites. These guys are scary, but he can't actually attack the unit that is there. So there's that. Okay, got our soldiers back to heal up, and how long is this going to take? 5 turns. So we need a Xeno Sanctuary and Kraborth, and oh shoot, Civil Skies was built next to Floatstone. Ah, Floatstone's here. Okay, okay. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do it. There's Floatstone here as well. I'm building next to tons of Floatstone. So I'm gonna start beefing up my health, and then I'm going to get out another colonist. I'm gonna get a 4th colonist. This is a crazy tactic. I'm gonna put it right here next to this algae, floatstone, and tubers, and we'll have a very long line here up north. And oh my god, alien already. Okay, I'm gonna send one of these Deuteronomies back, because I kind of thought our alien woes were over. It looks like the war with Mandira is over. So I'm trying to ISL neutralize things by going one with Brasilia and one with the other people. Yeah, I'm going to do a colonist. I'm still accidentally on productive values. So yeah, this is insane. This is nuts. You should not do this. This is bad. This is very bad. But this is crazy. This is how dedicated I am to completing the floatstone oriented quest here. And this will make me very wide, and when you're playing wide you actually take longer to get your virtues up. The plus side is supposed to be that you the plus side is supposed to be that you will actually gain more resources and the actual losses will not be as big. Now, whether that will be true of my particular empire or not remains to be seen. So I need health, so we're going to focus on health, and we're going to have a big, giant, healthy empire. And big as in wide, not big as in tall. Because my city will continue to fall behind for every single colony that I create. And I mean, the benefits to this quest are going to be quite large, so they might end up being worth quite a bit. Also worth noting, for future planning, I will not be removing any miasma. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. because miasma as a resource I can use later on in the game for heals. Because tier 6 here, units heal 5 HP in miasma. There's also a science you can get that will actually neutralize the effects of miasma on all your units, which means that you will be getting some pretty massive combat boosts when you're sitting in miasma. If I have enough units, I will be placing miasma in some places. You cannot have terrascapes and miasma coexisting. That is a game no-no. Does not let you do that. But you can have other things like the bio well or the institute. I built one over here. Or that's an academy, sorry. You can build all those with miasma, and that's fine. There must be a nest around here somewhere. Look at all the miasma. They just love sitting in their little nests. So I have Krabrost, Uzbek, and Serik. None of these actually look like real-world names. Usually you'd think they would just kind of name them after real-world stuff, but not the case. And it looks like this empire to the south here is much, much larger than I initially thought it would be. Well, it looks like the aliens are remaining quite peaceful. With this science here, photo systems that I'm researching, it's going to take 22 turns, and I'm getting Harmony Affinity, I'm getting Solar Collector, and I'm getting +1 food from plantation upgrades. And as you can see, mostly of what I have here is plantations, so that'll be a huge benefit. Even though it's a very deep science, even though it's a very invested science, oh, I don't have terraforming yet, unfortunately. It will be something that I can make worthwhile after, and oh my god, I can't believe I actually made it to this expedition site. Like, that's 14 turns to get here. That's just a silly amount of turns, actually. I don't expect to get too many more expeditions. I'm gonna keep my boys on the map, my explorers, just to kind of figure all the terrain out. You want to have as many trade options as possible. Jembar, I would actually love to go to war with that guy, because I consider him a douchebag. See my other playthrough for why. The only reason why I wouldn't go to war with him is because currently he's my friend, and you don't turn your back on your friends, because it looks really, really bad for you. Oh, look at that, there is in fact a nest here. Rather unfortunate. I have no real explorers around to take this out in a peaceful manner, so I'm going to have to do it in a very unpeaceful manner. To war with the Zerg. To war with the Bug. Whatever sci-fi reference you want to call in here, this is what I will go with. The range unit, for some reason, has completely vanished. Maybe deep into the miasma cloud. And here they come, being their hyper-aggressive selves. And they will heal within the miasma. Oh yes, they will. 2 alien nests discovered. Where is the other one at? Right next to my expedition site. Oh, poor Pack. You lost the fight. I can probably just steal that one after, actually. So, look at this mass digester, which is a lot of turns. +1 energy from Tundra. I don't actually own any Tundra, I don't think. But it also gives me 4 grower specialist slots, which sounds good. I don't really know what that is, but I will use it. What is on the mysterious island? Apparently only death and despair. Oh, my favorites. My first source of petroleum. And looks like I'm pretty well done with all my improvements here. Now we can probably work towards a road. So link the road here. I can't put an improvement here because that'll actually wipe out one of my objectives, apparently. So that kind of sucks. So pull him back. Just a good way to get some veterancy up. And this will be his escort, this one Marine. Just bring him through the worst possible territories possible. Oh yeah, I still have it set to production. I totally forgot about that. Let's set it back to food. And now, yeah, 7 turns for a new citizen. That's much, much better. Okay, so we have an explorer. My plan was to send him down south, and that's what I will be doing. And hopefully we'll actually get around to looking at that southern half of the map, see what marvels wait for us down there. And I only have the one expedition available, so, you know, I can only do with what I got, basically. Is he actually going to attack this marine or not? Now this bonus here should cause him to not. But the proximity to the alien nest is scary for him. I mean, hypothetically, this alien nest could just get wiped out by border expansion eventually. I don't even have to actually take it with a scout. Still, though, another 19 turns before I can get my solar collectors. And the solar collectors, like I said, they'll give me a pretty big boost in terms of money, which will allow me to trade a lot of victories. And I found another little cranny down there. That down there is a place that I can expedition again. We have knowledge of nanotechnology. Something I can expedition for more resources. Now, that one was a progenitor rune, which means that, hypothetically, that could have been a victory condition. And the victory condition would be contact, it's called. And discover the progenitor signal. Oh, I have apparently gotten one of the 2 pieces, so never mind. I might be going for a signal victory. You can get the other one, the a wonder that you build. And you don't actually need to be affiliated with any deep trees. Now, the only reason why we would consider focusing down on the harmony tree only is because we want to have our big, rough, tough guys. Let's see, any attacks coming? Doesn't appear to be. Looks like they will remain peaceful. Well, while I'm down on that island, might as well just continue exploring it, seeing what it offers. So Sarek is online, as you know, and negative health, so I will be needing to help boost that up. 12 turns for a farmer lab gives me 3. This one gives me 1 of each, which is normally a good opener, but I really need that that health. And once Uzbek, which is not growing for some reason, once Uzbek gets their Old Earth Relic done, I'll be focusing on health there as well. There's no reason for Uzbek to not be growing. I'm concerned there's something wrong. Is Red Sun... That looked like to me that was in the ocean. Am I wrong here? Oh my god, it's on an island in the ocean. That is a really bad spot. No one will ever trade with this. This will become a ruin. Actually, never mind. Sarah and Mindira can both trade with that pretty easily. So maybe it will survive to do something another day with its life. Contemplating deep stuff. This is a really big distance. I think it's really hard to say. Would it be easier for me to go across the ocean to get this ruin or not? Regardless, plans are in motion. Soon we'll have completed civil skies. Did I just discover another freaking awesome laser expedition area? Okay, so we need that pharma lab. That's what we really, really need right here. Okay, so he has 0 food. Weird. He really needs a farm right here, but I can't build that. I need to build something that will give him more than 1 food, because he's on a tundra plane. This bothers me greatly, said Antonius to his son Bruticus. Aliens are on the border. Aliens are on the border. That's all it's saying there. And for some reason I thought I found another ruin down here, but no, there's no other ruin. Let's see where I go with that. Looks like this guy on his way home is going to be taking off the fastest path through the fog of war, which is rather unusual. Generally speaking, you don't see automated systems bringing through fog of war. They'll usually go like the super long way around as long as they can avoid the fog of war. But in doing so, often they will explore a little bit, but not too much. Let's add another one. That looks like one. That looks like 2 on this island here. That is such a huge deal. Maybe I'll have better use of these explorers for quite some time now. Ooh. The sound just died down for a second there. I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Nothing bad, it seems. I'm going to have to get some kind of growth-oriented tech after this. I mean, this +1 food for plantations will help a ton, no lies. But I need something bigger. Okay, so this is floatstone. I'm adjacent to floatstone. Let's build it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm happy with that. Now my happiness levels are going to go to the roof negative, so I'm going to have to continue popping out these health-oriented buildings and these health-oriented virtues to help stabilize my number. At least until I get deeper into the game. Deeper in the game, there are so many health-related structures and boons and benefits that it's hard not to go super expansionist. Oh, he's actually building a settlement down there. How interesting is that? And there's a road across here. It would be nasty if I just destroyed this one piece of road that's not in his territory. But I'm not that guy, people. I'm not that guy. Don't be that guy who destroys a single piece of road outside of territory that you can easily claim for yourself, but you choose not to. I will, however, move down there to try and get a better view on the city here, Tiangang, because that's a potential trading place for the future. And yeah, it looks like the Pan-Asian Cooperative has actually gotten pretty darn far out here. Look how paranoid he is. He has a worker with a ranger. He's not even at war with anyone. That's just blatant paranoia. So yeah, we have Amparo. It makes sense for him to develop there. His land is not actually off from that. And oops, I went the wrong way. Oh well. Maybe I can come back for that after I start spying on people. Because in 13 turns I should probably begin computing, which will get me the ability to spy. Kavtha is a Stellar Codex. Stellar Codex is a +3 science boost. It's good enough, actually. It's one of these texts that a lot of people tend to ignore. Oh, sorry, here it is, yes. +3 science, 10% production for orbital units, and overall coverage increase. It's a tech that a lot of computers will actually ignore, and it's one that you can actually snipe late in the game that they just ignore. But in this case, it looks like has not been ignored, has been gotten. And yeah, just have to see what the future brings, I guess, because you just don't know. Is it going to give me credit for familiar skies yet? Civil skies, sorry. Oh, it has to be the full city, has to be there. So Xeno Sanctuary, god, that is such a crappy mission. I hate those ones because they often rely on having a resource that often your city does not have access to, which sucks. Like, what does it take to build a Xeno Sanctuary? I wonder.
As Adam
Xena
Smith
Sanctuary.
said, trade is the lifeblood of nations.
So it requires miasma, which I don't think I actually have any possession of at all. I don't think there's a bit of miasma anywhere in my territories. But it's also possible I just haven't discovered miasma, which is actually the more likely now that I think about it. Alright, so we got our first row built. Oh, I can build on the fire side. Actually, I should rest this guy. Look at his health. It's way too low. Way too risky. And a different civilization here. Who is this? This is the African Union. Great. Some, like... It's actually good that they do it this way, but it's kind of funny. You expand out into the best possible resources. So they've avoided this one money resource here.
Entiende.
What? How dare you? I guess. Okay. They have Marines. I have Marines. We have the same tech level. I actually have a unit close to their territory here. Looks like he will survive for now. Okay, these Marines have to go home because he's not attacking this front. And I have another pocket of Marines over here. We gotta send all these home. Can you get there in time? Doesn't look like it. And I get one freebie here. So what am I going to purchase to save the day? Well, the only units I can buy right now are Marines. So I'm going to be buying Marines. So I'll buy one Marine there. Purchase one Marine here. And I will be using entirely Marines to save the day. Now, since I hired that Marine, that actually gives the city a slightly more defensive strength. And will allow it to survive against this arc attack. Sneak arc attack, actually. Oh, he's actually not going for the city right now. He's going to go for my Marines. Oh, never mind. There's our city assault. That's what I was expecting. Actually. Okay, so in terms of tactics, it's better to be the defender than offender just about every single possible time. See, this guy's got a minor defeat. He's got a minor victory against this guy, however. Yeah, let's go with that. And then what I'll do is I will use my barrage to finish him off. And this guy I have no flank benefit against, but if I tackle him, I can hit this ranger too. So let's go for that. So far, this war is going great. I do not languish war. I might need to get a partner, though. The the African Union are quite friendly with me.
So the war.
Let's see. Declare war
Come,
on
sit and speak.
the Ark.
No, Jiran.
He will not take it. Okay. See if Dao Ching
你好。
Sochu's got anything like this.
报告上来，
Declare war on the Ark.
怀疑产
They just finished off a war against the African Union, so that sucks. They probably do not want to do business with me. Regardless, I will be pumping out Marines, just because they should do pretty good against these devilish units that are coming for blood, basically. Okay, let's see how his moves work out. Now, he does have the Ranger here. The Ranger will get the shots off on my Marines first. But I can pull my Marines back to rejuvenate them. So, tons of benefits and bonuses. There's also this one Marine over here. He should pull back. There's no reason. He actually charges forward. What a madman. In fact, he's charged forward with all of his units that are pretty vulnerable. And, like, since we're playing on a higher level computer, Like, he's going to have a lot more units than me always, and that's just something that has to be dealt with. But in this case, I think it's not going to be too bad. These units have equal production value, the Marines and the Rangers. The Rangers have the ranged attack. Rangers. So these guys can use a heal. We'll get these guys close. They can only do a minor victory. Rather unfortunate. I gotta get this guy to Uzbek. I can't bring him to Krabvorsk because that needs to have people inside of it. And even though I have a war going on, I'm still going to try and focus on my health, getting that back up. So I'm going to build that clinic. And once I have this farmer lab here, I can build basically an army from that location. Okay, so how will the Ark move their units jostling around? I suspect this will fire and this will attack in. That's my suspicion. That's how they tend to play. They are kind of kamikaze types.
By trade.
Come, Ark. You have proven to be my mortal enemy. He's actually going to go and trying to attack one of my Marines. Now, this one here is not actually fortified, so he can do a pretty decent amount of damage against this guy. Nope, he's actually going to pillage one of my farms. That jerk. He knows those farms are near and dear to me. He also knows that no village was ever ruined by trade. Except the ones in Africa. So, this guy gets a flanking bonus from this guy, so if I attack in here, I only get a major victory. Minor defeat against him. So, 43, they're equal attack values. So I can crush... I can't even crush him. This should crush him, though. Now, this Marine might die here. But it's a trade, and I'm willing to trade at this point. I keep forgetting, I can't actually mine that. That's it. A secret tile that has a purpose later on. That if I destroy it, it'll be quite bad. Okay, I'm going to fortify that guy there for now. See, now if he attacks this guy here will just completely smoke him. He'll have no chance. Come on. Okay, this is Ark's turn. He's going to fire on the capital. Okay, so he's got about 1/8 of the city down. And there's another 8 I'm suspecting, and he attacks him. Oh my god, he just gave me the win. Thank you, Sir Computer. He won't have another attack that big. He's taken almost half of my health in my capital with one barrage. That's how attack-focused this game is compared to previous civilizations in which, you know, the cities were basically just too powerful. Okay, so these guys, I'm going to full up on health and put them to good use. And we're going to go to war, baby! Now, the kind of rule of capturing cities is that you cannot capture the city if you do not have a Marine available to do it. That's the rule. I didn't make it up. This guy's actually got a bonus, so we'll give him that. Now, this is going to remove his flanking bonus for this guy here. So now, I'll be doing a ton more damage. I also gain a flanking bonus myself. And, yeah, I feel like I deflected that like a pro. Now he has no other units anywhere in the whole universe. He has nothing to drive him forward. I have won this day. Now, unfortunately, there is kind of a sad part to all of this. The sad part is that even though I basically won the day, I've also kind of lost the day because now I have to build up a giant army to force him into a position to give me better capitulation during the peace process. Which is ridiculous, but when you think about it, that's actually how it works out. The loser is the guy who lost the most, not the guy who actually lost borders, and you just readjust borders based on losses. So if I can build up a big enough army, I will convince him to give me money. Money's always good. He got rid of the nest himself, actually. So there goes my free money. So this guy can rest. Can this guy rest? Or do I think I might want him striking forward? Just finish off the rest of what this enemy vagrant has provided. My other Marines didn't actually even make it home yet. So that will be another pretty big boon. Oh, right, I don't have the technology for Fire Axite just yet. I need terraforming. A petroleum well. I swore I had a petroleum well. Is it still just building? That is a huge misstep on my part. I really don't like this nest being here. I might actually have to go aggressive against these aliens and try and get rid of that. Just because it does bother me quite a bit. A peace treaty. She wants Sarek, Upek, and this is what I'm talking about. Because her army is much larger than mine, she can request Sarek and Uzbek, and that's considered to be a fair deal in terms of the computer's mechanics. But I don't want to settle on that. I want much more out of life than just Sarek and Uzbek. It's always fun to witness this happen. Someone is upsetting the locals. Now I can bring all the boys into the base, and the other way to get a better return on my invasion is to actually just focus on alliances. And that can work as well. That can also work. But that's also a very expensive route that won't have a very long-standing army for much time at all. And now that the war's over, I can actually get this guy over to there after this turn, and go ahead and grab hold of Kraborst, or an expedition module from Kraborst. See where this earthworm moves now. That's actually Ark's turn. Is he moving any units into my base? Not. Now the aliens are over here. So it looks like the earthworm went towards the settlement, so I think I can actually do there. See, this isn't actually Ark, this is Franco-Iberia. So I actually have a lot of opportunity to do some damage there. I have a pretty sizable army. I need to build... I don't really need a worker. Marine. I want to build solar collectors, but still 4 more turns. So after after that marine's built, it's going to be pumping out boom, boom, solar collector power, because solar collectors are quite good. I'm trying to wiggle, by the way, I'm trying to wiggle this guy here over across to here, because there's 2 expeditions for me to do over there. There is a method to my maddeningness. Alright, have fun. Let's see. What will the Ark do? Any moves on my capital? If they're doing a sneak attack over this way, I'll be so upset. But they could. They're in a line like I am. They have the same kind of empire setup. There's nothing bricky about our empires at all. Okay, I may have to actually go around the water to get to that. Okay, so what can we do as far as a tactic? We basically hit our one virtue strategy. Now I can go for the other free one virtue. And it also gives me a free covert agent, which is not bad. And to do that, I would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. Which I think I can get from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, pretty easily actually. So there's a health option. Culture penalty. Yeah, I think I'll get that one actually, because that one will work out being a lot of culture. A lot of virtue, sorry. A lot more virtues. And I think it'll work longer in the long run. Now... yeah, apparently I did not finish this. So, that explains my total lack of oil. I also have an opportunity to put a paddock on this tile here, as Uzbek has expanded in that general direction. Looks like these archetypes are really not in favor of peace just yet. Now, how this can work against me is if the Ark ally themselves with the Cavathon. And the Cavathon, of course, do not know that I'm in their best interests. I've been working with them and not against them, but they cannot possibly know that. It's impossible for them to know that. Okay, Earth Relic. Cyto Nursery. Yeah, I'll get this one. See, there's Xenomass here, or Xenomass, I guess. Xeno or Zeno, I guess both are acceptable. There's some over here. I think, no, it's Miasma. But I actually don't have any Xenomass in my territory, so I actually can't complete one of my missions, which is rather unfortunate. One more border, by the way, in Stanmere is a city, and I do have, I think, what, 3 float stones. Yeah, you can kind of see the physical float stones here. In actuality, like, this is a small pile of fire Xite. So that's what it's called, right? Fire Xite. I've been calling it right. Yeah, there are giant piles. Like, that's not a giant pile. You can physically see them though, that they're giant. They just look much larger. Maybe there's no giant piles. Here, yeah, here's a bigger pile. 10 fire Xite, much larger pile actually. Ah, a pod, a late game pod. Those are always great. Okay, so what route will he take to get to here? He will go across the ocean. 35 turns. If that's the fastest possible route, that is the fastest possible route, and I will not question him on that. I have to keep my good relations. There are more money-making opportunities, but I do have to keep good relations. Alright, this is the long-sought tech. 1 point, 1 turn to get these photo systems so I can get my solar collectors out and about. And keep in mind, there's this. Read the second half of this. Any city in range also receives 20% energy overall. So all the energy-producing structures in Kraborsk and Uzbek and all these places will also receive more energy. Unfortunately, my citizen totals in Uzbek aren't actually large enough to really make a solar collector all that valuable. But Kraborsk will be very much using these solar collectors.
Like.
Okay, here we go. Big bonus. Free solar collector. God damn it. I don't need that anymore. Okay. Alright, so we've gone for a really long way to go. So now I'm going to pick up a Bavarium. It's going to help me with my population problems. Physics for more science. And then computing So I can start spying, I also get gunboats, and I get network, which is also science. Quest decision. +1 food versus +1 production. +1 food will give me higher population. +1 production will give me more production. I am going to go with higher population counts. Because that's actually what I need right now, is a higher food count. Okay, so here's my solar collector. LOL, I guess. There's not actually a lot of good spots for me to put this right now. Alright, that's what I will do. Not the most maximum benefited possible, but it's something. Oh god, giant kraken in the lake. There's a kraken in the lake. Someone has to deploy gunboats in the lake to get the kraken. That is retarded. It's not even a lake like the Black Sea, which has access to the ocean. It is not a black.
Venga,
It's not a lake like the port of Sevastopol, which has access via Syria to the ocean. It is just a bloody lake in which you're stuck there forever. There's no way to build a canal. If really, this is huge wish of mine. If the folks at Civilization, the folks at Sid Meier's company, Fire Axis, really want to make a huge step forward in this game, allow terraforming, allow the ability to build a canal across here, but make it very expensive, of course. By making it very expensive, the canal will be, cost benefit. Population, energy, production, science. I really need that population. So this is the reward for Civil Skies, by the way. Population and energy, which is population and money, or production and science.
Yes.
So +1
homesteading
population
is
and Standmere.
Yeah.
And I also gained another level of harmony. Which, if I had a lot of the units unlocked, which I don't, but if I had units unlocked, it would gain access to a nice amount of extra stuff. Poor Uzbek. I think it really needs a Cyto nursery to flourish. The sea creatures are actually blocking me. I'm getting cock blocked by a sea dragon. I never thought I'd see that day. There's a little island down here that I'm moderately interested in. It's too south to be insanely valuable. You don't want to be in the tundra. But it might control a pod, or an expedition, or something along those lines. Away you go, my little explorer. Peacefully exploring. I'm going to turn that into some sort of improvement. Now, I have a very wide empire, and I'm probably eventually going to have to get out a third worker, because I am starting to fall behind quite a bit. And I might get a third worker after this marine. Originally, I intended to get another solar collector, so I can bolster my wealth around Krabhorst, but I was given to them, so... Oh, good, I'm friends with the Cavathon Protectorate, so that means that I'm not as isolated as I thought I might be. If Cavathon Protectorate was aggressive towards me, I'd be isolated between these two guys and have to do some very bad, nasty things. There you go, plantation for that extra +1 food, which will help feed this city into a new era. Now this is food focused, right? Says it is. The tile that I'm developing is one that it needs. Heavily. Okay, I'll put a marine over here. So now, I have a nice little army of marines, or frontline soldiers. Should be in a fine enough position to do well. And it's actually only a little island with some basalts. So yeah, we definitely need that worker. Oh, here comes my vivarium. Vivariums give you +2 food, plus an extra 1 food per desert tile. Now, I'm not even really sure what counts as a desert tile in this game. I mean, these look kind of deserty, don't you think? Yeah, apparently this is all desert tiles. So Vivarium will do very, very well in Uzbek. Once he's done his Cyto nursery, he'll be doing fine and dandy. Also, my virtue is very, very low, only 10 per turn. To which I respond, yikes. Yikes. Oh, here's the tundra. Who cares about tundra? Nobody, that's who. Whoa, he is. Got a whole encirclement of forces here. It's weird, because this is actually a place that's really hard to cross. It's a kind of a access 2 distinct bottlenecks here, cutting at one zone. So he wants a peace treaty for petroleum, open borders, and money. No, that is not happening, Suzanne Fieldings. I could take all that stuff and just get someone else to declare war on you. How would that make you feel? In fact, let's give this another try.
你好，准确一点，
Try now.
怀
No?
疑产
How about our friends in the African Union? They've been good friends of mine.
Fadlan, proceed.
We will not declare war. I was kind of grasping at straws there, really. So, not as big a deal as it could have been. Ooh, that algae. And the floatstone. I really need terraforming. So, familiar exotics, still that stupid Xeno Sanctuary, which I don't have access to any Xenomass. Computing, I'll be working towards. Just as soon as I get these next few objectives taken care of. How many moves? I get 2 moves. So I'll move here to get vision. Here to get across. Now that pretty much covers the southern flank, and now it's just a matter of getting this guy all the way over to here, which is around a giant loop of islands. These expeditions are getting further and further away. I mean, eventually they will, they'll have some pretty dire diminishing returns for me. My trips will be far less fruitful. Now, as soon as I get this ranger, I should get the upgrade ranger, because I believe the ranger is a level 2 upgrade. And will they offer me an upgrade just yet, or maybe 1 turn I have to wait? Perhaps it is the 1 turn I will have to wait. Now, I desperately need this vivarium here, because, like I said, this place has not been expanding. And that's been hurting me the whole game. So we'll do that. Okay, repair. Now, do I want to repair or put an academy here? Maybe for now, just repair. It's a 2-turn tile improvement. This guy's actually going to get moved over to here, so that I can put an improvement over here after he's done there. Just so that if, you know, an enemy was to show up in that weird corner, he wouldn't just flank me or anything along those lines. I know how these computers think. They're actually pretty devious people. And this road will pay itself off eventually. I mean, these are probably going to end up being my 2 big production capitals, just because of how many buildings they've produced so far. I need an answer. Bio what? Bio wells. Where do I find my bio wells? Bionics. Where do I find bionics? Bionics, biospheres. Bionics. Okay, so we'll be grabbing computing and bionics. And here's the thing: the bio well is a tile improvement that actually gives you +1 health and yields 2 food. It is one of the greatest tile improvements in the game. As your skill level increases in the game, your demands on health will be insane, and getting that helps a ton. And I'm actually going to purchase a... What's he working on? Probably the... What is his production right now? So he's working on the farmer lab. So we'll be purchasing the cyto nursery, and I will purchase a clinic. And that'll help keep my health in check for now. I've got a lot of turns now. My cities are not expanding that big. This is 11. When we look at this, it's like 12, 14. These are much larger cities. So I'm not expanding out of control here. But I want to. I just am not. So I'm going to build my second set of roads. My second set of roads will be across here. Chewy! That was quite the sneeze. A second peace treaty. So looks like there's actually going to be an arc expansion over here called Liberty. These are all very American names. That coffee is very cold. I believe I've been playing for way too long if it's that cold. Oh, God. That is foul. Okay, food. Well, I will set this guy to route 2 mode, and he's going to route 2. This is, route 2 mode. It's literally a thing. I can hit Control or Shift R, it's the same thing. I hit the buttons because then you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to route 2 Sarah, and that's going to create a road length across here, and create another highway to link up my empire. So like I said, my coffee is pretty dirt cold. Probably going to have to microwave this thing. It's medium roast, in case you're wondering. And yeah, I'll be joining you guys probably next week with a continuation. We're at turn 150. I think standard ends around turn 400-ish. So yeah, we have a nice bit still to go, and we're still making some awesome progress. Until then, my name is Troublemaker. See you guys later.